Namaste, welcome to Asianet Dialogues. I am Bhavna Nagaya. I have a wonderful guest with us. His journey is like a fairy tale, not for him, for us. For him, it took a lot of hard work, dedication, and his company within 14 years. His company has become the second largest employer of India. So let's welcome Mr. Guru Prasad Srinivasan, Executive Director and Group CEO of Quess Corp. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Bhavna. Thank you for having me on this show.
Thank you, thank you. I would love to know about your journey, Surface, but let's go first with your company. Your company, as I mentioned, it is the second largest employer at headcount in India after TCS. Tell us about your company.
Yes. So first and foremost, we started this company. We are now in our 14th year. We are just stepping into the 15th year of our existence. We started this company in October 2007 in a small three-bedroom house headquartered in Bangalore. Today it's a proud moment where we have reached, and 8 of us who started this company way back in 2007. We started as an HR company, and when I say HR, it is we had 3 line of businesses that we started company with. General staffing, then we had something called the lateral hiring or contingency hiring, which is the permanent hiring, and training. So we started our company with these 3 verticals. In a short span, when we started the company, we were just entering into a kind of recession in 2007 and 2008. Right. That's when we started diversifying our business. We did after our fundraise, we did our first acquisition in a facility management space. Then we acquired an IT staffing company, and slowly, we started growing, and country was also moving from kind of a permanent job. Temporary job was a kind of acceptable norm, and slowly the economies were opening up, and we were at the right spot at the right time. So that helped us to scale. And 2012, then our first investors who invested in us, after 5 years of investment, they were exiting, and that's when we had Fairfax coming in, and we are now part of the Fairfax group who invested in us in 2012. Then rest everything is a history. So we started building this company. So as we speak, we have 65 plus offices in India. We are the largest. In fact, if I were to take the entire headcount in India, we would be the number 1 in private segment. If I were to, because the comparison is number of employment created in India. So from that perspective, we would still rank number 1. And where we are today, we have almost about 470,000 people working for us. Slowly, we are inching towards our 500,000 mark. We are the creators of frontline employment.
Right.
When I say frontline, we hire people for frontline sales, feet on street, back office, data entry operators. We do inbound, outbound support center. So we are part of the prime, I would say, space as far as India is concerned in terms of creating employment at the bottommost pyramid. So that's what pretty much we are doing, and in a way we are proud on whatever we are doing for the country. So as we speak, we have 3 verticals, or 3 platforms. The first one, we call it as workforce management. The second one, we call it as integrated asset maintenance. And the third one is specific to global technology operations. And just this year, we carved out a 4th vertical, which is called product-led. So let me give you a little clarity on each of these platforms. Workforce is our largest vertical, where we hire people, train them, and deploy them onto the job. We are the largest in the country in this space. Workforce alone has about 360,000 people deployed into various frontline jobs for us. You walk into a store, you will meet our employee. Wherever I go, on a Sunday, if I were to go for a shopping, at least 5 out of 10 that I meet would be somewhere, either they will be delivering something to my house who are on our rolls, or when I walk into a store, I see them.
I think that gives a different vibe every time.
Absolutely. Or you walk into any airport, we'll see our people deployed there. So it's a kind of touch point that we are creating. And workforce is our largest vertical. The second category under workforce is our technology staffing, where we hire people who are into high-end, who work on high-end technologies for various corporates across. So that is, again, we are the largest in that space. We have almost about 10,000 plus people deployed who are powering a lot of application and coding for our customers. The third one there is the training, skill development. We hire, train, and the skilling is most important part of hiring. So we work with various government projects in terms of hiring mobilizing people, training them and deploying them. So that's the workforce, all put together about 350,000 plus people. The second vertical is integrated asset maintenance, where we take over asset of our customer and we manage them completely. So when I say asset, we take over the commercial shops and establishment, or we manage the end-to-end electrical, mechanical, plumbing, soft services, hard services, the perimeter guarding or security, digital surveillance. So in that space, we have almost about 80,000 people deployed working for us across various sites, and all these are B2B, business to business. The third platform is global technology. Under that, we have two kind of services. One is we do inbound and outbound support center. So if you are calling for any support for a bank back office, most likely it is us who will be serving you in terms of attending your call and solving your queries. Or if you are calling any support services for a telecom, most of the time, at least 6 out of 10 would be our people who would be supporting, in terms of what is required. The other business under GTS is the platform business, where we are the largest payroll services provider in the country, where we process more than 1 million pay slips for our customers. We take that as an outsourcing, run it, and then we deliver the services to our customers. So that's into platform business. Similarly, we also have an insurtech business based out of US. So that is another platform business under GTS. So in nutshell, between these three core platform, what we call it as, the majority being workforce, followed by global technology, then integrated asset maintenance. All put together, we have about 470,000 people that we have employed. All of this in last 14 years. The last vertical, which is product-led, where we have applications that help us to hire. So we own the monster.com. It's owned by us for Middle East, India and APAC countries. It's the second largest job portal in the country. And we have footfall of people coming in for the job seekers come in to register, and then on the other side we have companies working with us in terms of acquiring candidates through us. So that's a portal that we invested in 2018, and we are now making that state-of-art technology to move from a simple job portal to a kind of changing an experience of candidate and recruiter on the product in itself. Plus, we have built another platform called QJobs for entry-level positions. So, for example, for blue collar, there is no portal that exists. There are many portals in the country, but we being the largest employer, all our mandates are visible for somebody who can come onto the application, find for the job within their PIN code that they want to. So that helps them to find a job much faster, quicker. It helps us because we'll be able to place a person much quicker and faster. So that's Quess all about.
As I mentioned it before, it looks like a fairy tale. Very short time. You started your company by 2007 and it is 2022. Within a short time, the growth is phenomenal. So what is the secret behind?
Secret is simple. Just stay focused and look what market wants, look what customer wants. I think, I keep saying this, we are in the best of times in the country. Our parents would have seen this, our kids will not enjoy this. We would have enjoyed a year Y2K. plus the kind of the technology transformation that is happening in the country is phenomenal. So I think all these somewhere is is layered on employment, and creation of employment is something, and we are in the right business is what I strongly continue to believe.
Wonderful. So your company started manpower services before branching into other areas, but still it is known for its manpower services. Tell us about your company and other companies giving their contribution to solve the unemployment in India. How important these sectors are for India?
Fantastic question. So we started as a manpower company, but now we have transformed into business services. So when I say business services, some places we provide manpower, some places we take over and deliver services.
Yes.
Right. So if it is an inbound outbound call support center, where we are responsible for the number of calls handled and number of calls that we really answer. When it comes to integrated asset maintenance, number of square feet that we manage for our customers, irrespective of soft services, hard services. So you will not find a straight competitor for us in India across all these three. So today, if I were to look at, say, if I want to come over and take this studio completely, we can do end-to-end for you, starting from mechanical, electrical, plumbing, to people, to facility, to securities, to everything end-to-end. We can come as one shop stop and take over and deliver the services, including your food and beverage and cafeteria management. So that's the kind of capability what we are bringing. And this is captured as the business services more than people. People is one element in that. To your question, how did we do? We have done it both organically and inorganically over a period of time.
Okay.
There are few, like workforce, largely it's homegrown, it's organic for us. And in some places we have acquired. So for example, in our GTS, we have acquired erstwhile Tata's business, which is TBSS, and we have got that capability into. And in facilities, we have acquired a couple of companies over last 7-8 years. And as an integrated service, it is actually coming, sitting together as a string of pearl today, wherein which we are able to create value for ourselves and to our customers.
Okay, if we talk about unemployment in India, what is the view of yourself?
So it's a big topic. I'm sure we are adding some portion of betterment to it. See, there are few. Roughly about more than 1 million population coming into workforce every year across various streams, and in that you have few people who are graduating, few are 12th dropouts, and few are 10th dropouts who are coming into various segments. So this is a phenomenon in a country like ours that will continue to happen. But I think where we play a larger role is we work with corporates, and we are a kind of catalyst to move informal into formal segment.
What is the role of state governments and central government?
So of course, if there can be more joining hands between the private players and the respective state governments, that's going to make a huge difference. And it's a step that slowly we are seeing in a very small step that program is now happening into. So whether it is DDUGK and PMKK kind of trainings that were created across, there are partners who work at various, but again, this is confined to I would say few trades and few locations, and it needs a little bit of policy change. For example, the kind of trades that are defined in these schemes versus what is actually required, and these were probably crafted before even the new age industries that we talk about. For example, if I talk about e-commerce, supply chain and logistics, while I see a kind of traditional courses that are available in the government content and the panel, what is required on the ground is very different reality.
Right.
So maybe partners like us or anybody joining hands between the private and government is going to make a huge difference in bringing what is the reality that is required on the ground, because we know what jobs are required.
Right.
On the other end, I can't use the same content which is available. So we should be able to work together and bridge. I think that's an area where a lot of re-emphasize which is required, which we are representing various state governments across to see how we can work together on this.
How do you see the development in India according to the unorganized sector and skill in India?
Let me give you a little high-level picture.
Okay.
Country has about 50 crore as a working population.
Okay.
Right? That's the total workforce. Out of that, 40%, which is about 20 crore, will be in a kind of I wouldn't say formal, a quasi-formal employment.
Okay.
The other, out of 50, 20 is that, and other 30 would be largely in agro and agro-related kind of work, which is completely unorganized.
Okay.
Now, out of this 20, this includes MSME, which is the larger portion. Almost about 10 crore people work there, plus all other construction and other industries. Out of this 20, it would be hardly about 3%, which I would call it as a formal employment.
Oh.
So, which is a very small number.
Smaller one.
If you look
Small
at
number, yes.
So there's quite a lot of work that to be done, right? In a developed economy, this would be anywhere between 8 to 10%.
Okay.
So we have the best part is we have a good runway, and we are getting there.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I mean, we will graduate slowly there, and you will see more inorganic, or I would say informal moving into formal. So that is a way that it is happening. Now, coming back to if I take the temporary staffing in itself,
okay,
country has roughly about 4.5 million workforce, which is temporary staffs, out of which Quess provides about, say, 470,000. So we are almost about 9 to 10%
okay,
of the organized staffing player in the country. This entire 4.5 million, if I were to roll back to, say, in last 10 years,
okay,
this would have moved from almost around at a rate of 15 to 16% year on year CAGR. That's the kind of growth what this particular industry is taking. On an average last 10 years, if I were to look at about 15% growth,
wow,
which is a good sign.
Good sign.
Which means the acceptance of temporary workforce to perform certain tasks is actually getting much robust over a period of time.
Okay.
So this group was around this entire headcount that we are talking about, 4.5 million. That was about 2.5 billion by 8 years ago. So it is almost doubled now. So which is a good sign.
Okay.
And considering the kind of total 3% that I spoke about, 3 moving into 10 has a good runway. And there are few segments which there are new age companies. For example, if I were to look at ITIS used to, manufacturing used to be top 1,
okay,
right? Followed by ITES. Then telecom revolution happened. So telecom took off good set of headcount. And slowly e-commerce and logistics and supply chain industry started. Now you have various food deliveries and gig worker, gig platform coming into. So the type of employment is also evolving over a period of time. So where we are today, I think if I were to look at with the new age companies, I think we are heading in the right trajectory. At least the staffing is considered as an industry, and people are willing to take the kind of jobs with all social security in place. It is a kind of accepted job, and it works well for both employers and employees.
My final question: many businessmen express their disappointment that there is a huge gap between the private sectors and the government about understanding what has to be done. How to clear this?
We really don't think there is a huge gap.
There's no gap.
Off late, what I'm hearing from government is they also have started working like corporates now.
Okay.
Right? So they are also fearful of their job. They are also fearful of. But yes, I think the kind of efficiencies that private bring in are much higher. The processes, the kind of investment that goes on technology is pretty quick, faster to turn around to their customers. So from that perspective, I'm sure there's private is definitely ahead of government. In few I would say in few pockets government has done really well
Okay.
in terms of whether it is the tax departments and the kind of automation with ESIC departments and PF department. They are really phenomenal the way it is coming up, and we work with them very closely in many segments. UAN is a great example. Aadhaar is a great example, right? So everything gets validated today, irrespective of where we are, what we do.
Right.
These are few fantastic steps, and I'm sure all we need is more intersection with government and private. I think that is what is expected.
Many youngsters want to be Guru Prasad Srinivasan. So tell us about your journey and how youngsters should make their path.
I don't think so. I'm any different than anybody else. So I think what one can focus is there has to be this entrepreneurial spirit in an individual, and that changes. Rest all doesn't really matter. If we feel that we got to achieve something, and if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, I'm sure I think it is easy to do. It is not difficult. I've never found after 14 years I still feel we are a startup and I still spend 14 to 16 hours a day. So it's fun. It's fun when you have great team around and right set of people backing you up, and it's a kind of enjoyable moment every day at workplace.
Thank you so much, Mr. Guru Prasad Srinivasan, talking to us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be part of this channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So viewers, this is Asianet Dialogues. Next time I'll meet you with another wonderful guest. Namaste.
আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে লাইক এবং শেয়ার করুন। কমেন্ট সেকশনে গিয়ে জানান আপনাদের মতামত। আরও ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং প্রতি মুহূর্তে খবরের আপডেট পেতে প্রেস করুন বেল আইকন।